Alright, I know this is usually not really the topic I discuss on my channel before. I started making videos like 3 weeks ago now, but I mainly covered like gaming news, Call of Duty videos, other games as well, Battlefield, all that stuff. But I usually don't really comment on other stuff. I don't really comment on my personal life as well. But I'm a person who is really passionate about making movies and movies as well. And today I wanted to talk about the Odyssey. This is one of the biggest movies that is coming out this year or this summer as well. It has a massive budget, like 250 million, which is absolutely crazy for these times. It's a massive gamble for the studio, of course, that they spend so much money on this movie. But you know, it's Christopher Nolan, and usually Christopher Nolan delivers on these types of movies. You saw it with the last one, Oppenheimer, which brought in basically like $1 billion with a very small budget of 100 million, if I remember correctly. So you know, they made their money back, and even more than that. And now they made Odyssey, and it's coming out tomorrow, or officially this day while I'm recording, on July 17th. I personally am going to see it this week, and you know, on social media and stuff, and all of the other platforms as well, you can already see like massive spoilers from people. People are posting reviews already, which is logical, of course, because like the embargo has lifted, the movie is out now officially across the world, and people want to share their opinions, of course. But from what I've seen, like a lot of people are incredibly negative about the movie itself. If you just look at the critics, they say that it's an exceptional movie. They have a Rotten Tomatoes score of 99% or something like that. I don't know if it's changed right now, but it's very high. But you know, if you see all the opinions on Twitter or X, they are pretty negative, and it's the most negativity and criticism on the movie so far is about the casting, of course, mainly with the casting of like the Helen of Troy and Elliot Page that is playing like some substitute of Achilles, you know, and people are not happy about that. But I basically only see like short clips of that movie where they are in, and they are saying it's a horrible movie. But it can also be my algorithm, of course, because you know, if you read one tweet or one post on X, you're basically only going to see that kind of content for the day. So it's mainly my algorithm, I think. But it's kind of weird to see that so many people are negative about it. I personally think, you know, even though I haven't seen it yet, I will give my full review like in the upcoming week, I think. But so far, what I think is, you know, we should be glad that these movies are getting made these days, because these things don't happen very often anymore. Like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they were kind of like, they've made pretty consistently. But so far, in the last 10 years or so, there are not many movies coming out from this genre, you know. And if they come out, they are usually not very successful. One great example I remember correctly is like the Napoleon movie that came out like 2 or 3 years ago, which was very disappointing, and I even think that they made some loss on it as well. I don't think it was very profitable at all. So we basically can't expect to ever get a movie like that ever again. But you know, these time period movies for me like are one of the greatest genre of movies there is, because you know, you need like a massive budget for these movies to actually make it work, because you know, all of the big battles and all the costumes and stuff you have to produce are very expensive, and usually these like movies are a massive gamble for the studios as well. So I'm really glad that it's getting made for a massive budget like this. Obviously the actors in it are all very well known. Tom Holland, of course, Anne Hathaway, Matt Damon as the lead. And you know, all of the other Robert Pattinson and Lupita, of course. You know, it's a massive stacked cast. I'm sure that they are very expensive actors as well, but I'm glad like a movie of this scale is being made today, and just hope that a lot of people are going to see this movie, because I just think that the general audience usually don't want to go to movies anymore. Which, no, the main reason for that is usually because the tickets are getting too expensive these days, and I agree with that as well. Here in the Netherlands, it's usually like, if you want to go with another person to the movies, it's like 30 bucks. And I just like, 30 bucks is like a monthly subscription if you to Netflix or HBO, or even like 2 months subscription. So I understand why people don't really go to movies anymore. And but it's just a shame, you know, because if we want to get those movies made of this scale, and and directors like this, like Christopher Nolan, are making these movies, we need to have like movies make some money, and the only way to do that at the moment is like to go to the cinemas as well. And I just think like these negative reviews that are getting posted online, they just provide like a really negative perception on other people, or like the casual audience for movies that are basically not really sure yet if they're going to see this movie or are going to see other movies as well. I think they will be put off quite quickly if they see a negative review online, and it's a shame, because we need so many people to go to these movies to make some profit. From what I know, if you have a 250 million budget, like you need like 3 times as much to make some profit. So they basically need like 750 million so far, which is a massive amount of money. Of course, I have some faith in Christopher Nolan that obviously he can make that. Obviously, the last movie, Oppenheimer, was like a very niche movie. Like not many people on beforehand were thinking like this is going to be a really successful movie about like a biopic of like a scientist. And even this, the Odyssey, it's like a 1,000-year-old story, and I'm sure like many people heard of it yet, but I think most people, including myself, haven't read the full story so far. Obviously the full story is like created by Homer in the books, but you have to obviously read the entire book to understand the story as well. And I understand in movies that you can't basically put everything in the movie to make it work as well. And I've heard that like in the IMAX cameras you basically can only make some footage up until the 3-hour mark, and after that you basically can't show the movie at all. So like I'm sure like a bunch of scenes and like sequences are cut out of the movie to make it work for the 3 hours, and I just hope we one day will see like a director's cut of this movie. But it's usually not the case with Christopher Nolan. Usually he releases like his movie in the theaters and that's that, and after that they make some money on the streaming services as well, but it's usually not as great. I think these kind of movies you need to watch in a theater because the experience is just so much better compared to like at home. And I just think like you see the movie, you pay attention to the movie, and I think if you watch a movie at home when you are basically going to scroll on your phone the entire time, at least that's what I do at the moment, and I think a lot of people are doing that as well. So yeah, I'm going to see it this week, and I'm optimistic about the movie. Of course, it's like one of the most exciting movies that's coming out the last couple of years, and after Oppenheimer I have like extreme faith in Christopher Nolan that he will deliver this time. And if I just look at the cast of actors at the moment in this movie, I think they basically can't go wrong. Yeah, I just hope it's an enjoyable movie, and I just hope it's going to be successful, because I really want Christopher Nolan to make another set of these movies, because in my opinion he made one of his movie history is like one of the best of all directors in the world, and his movies are one of my favorite movies as well, especially like Interstellar and Inception and the Dark Knight trilogy as well. So yeah, I'm trying to not to get negatively influenced by all this negativity online, and we'll have to wait and see what the IMDb score is going to be like. Usually that's quite good on Christopher Nolan movies, like the last Oppenheimer movie got like an 8.5, which is actually very good for the IMDb rankings, because usually like a lot of these movies are getting review bombed quite often. So basically a lot of people are going to give like ones to these movies, even though it's not a real opinion, but they just want to hate on the movie itself, and I just hope they are not going to do that with all of the controversy around the cast this time around, because these movies deserve to be made, and they deserve to be made for quite a long time, and I just hope that Hollywood doesn't just turn into like sequels over and over again, and superhero movies once again. I know they have an audience, of course, but I personally really enjoy these original type of movies, and I just really hope a lot of people are going to see it. And this is like the first type of video like this that I made. I'm sharing my personal opinion this time. I'm not really talking about video games, but I'm talking about movies. Like I said, it's like one of my main passions as well. And I have thought about a lot of times about making movie reviews, but I personally don't feel like I'm quite ready yet to do that. But it's still something I want to think about in the future. So maybe I'm going to do that someday. But I basically wanted to give my thoughts on this movie, because this is like one of the biggest movies that's coming out, and I see so much debating online on Twitter, on Instagram as well. You basically see like your Instagram reels are basically full of it all day. And there are also massive spoilers in those reels. So if you are still going to see the movie, maybe in a week's time, maybe in 2 weeks time, I would advise to not open reels this time around, or at least for the upcoming weeks, because like a lot of spoilers are in there, and you are basically going to see entire scenes played out, because people are just going to film in the cinema itself, even though that's not allowed. And I personally don't think that's like the right decision to do. I just think people need to see it for themselves, and spoiling it on social media is not a great way. But obviously people do it because it gets massive amounts of views, and you can't blame him really for it, because you know it's, you know, like I said, you get massive amounts of views if you do that. But I just hope many people are not negatively influenced by this, and I just hope you're going to see it. And let me know what you think about this movie if you have seen it already, or what you think about this movie if you haven't seen already. Yeah, just share me down below what kind of movies you usually watch and what your favorite movies are in the genre as well. And yeah, I want to thank you for watching the video up until the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.